This week we've got fresh speculation around the next generation iPad mini, a Kindle download issue affecting some users, and Apple's iOS and iPadOS updates edging closer to non-beta public release. It's Friday, the 31st of October 2025, and welcome to the Weekly Spark, your latest roundup of all things e-ink and iPad related. Let's get cracking. Let's start with a story that's got iPad mini fans like myself a little bit excited. Several outlets this week, including Mac Rumors, The Verge and even the Times of India, have reported that Apple may be working on a major refresh for the iPad mini. Now, I want to be super clear about this. Most of this is extremely speculative, but there's definitely something in the works. As the saying goes, there's no smoke without fire. According to the reports, the next iPad mini could finally move from LCD to OLED, which would mean deeper blacks, richer contrast, and an end to the infamous jelly scroll. And there's also talk of a vibration-based speaker system that would remove visible speaker holes, possibly making the tablet water resistant for the first time. It's suggested that the screen size might increase slightly from 8.3 inches to around 8.6, possibly 8.7, and rumours also say that Apple's A19 Pro chip could power this next generation iPad mini. If the iPad mini does get this chip, well, that teases us with a mini that will have much better graphics and better efficiency. And all that said, however, and to make sure I don't get accused of spreading false hope, none of these details are confirmed, so do take them with a massive pinch of salt. If all this does come to pass, I think you'd probably expect at least a $100 price increase. I actually own the latest iPad mini and I absolutely love it. I think it's the perfect device for content consumption, reading, YouTube, etc. And it's surprisingly capable for gaming too, especially if you pair it with something like the Razer Kishi Ultra controller. I reviewed that controller along with a bunch of other iPad mini accessories a while back, and that video has been quite popular, so I'll pop a link to that video in the description. Now, as for making it waterproof, I'm not entirely convinced it's necessary. Maybe Apple's thinking about those who like reading a little too close to the pool or catching up on a book in the bath. Or perhaps they're considering people who use the mini for fieldwork or note-taking outdoors, maybe on a construction site or survey job. I'm not sure it needs it, but I suppose any upgrade is useful. Please do let me know in the comments if you can think of any other scenarios other than the ones I've mentioned where water resistance on an iPad mini would actually be quite handy. Okay, having said all that we know for sure is that something is coming, possibly in 2026, though some think we may be waiting until early 2027. Before we move on, if you're finding the Weekly Spark helpful and informative, please do take a second to like, hype, subscribe and share. It really helps the channel grow and it tells me that these weekly roundups are worth continuing. Over in Kindle land, it's been reported that some users have been unable to download certain ebooks following Amazon's latest firmware update. According to the ebook reader blog, affected readers, mostly on newer Paperwhite models, have found that even a factory reset doesn't always solve the problem. The good news is that this doesn't appear to be widespread and most Kindles are working as normal. Amazon hasn't released a fix yet or even commented publicly. If you're worried, it might be best to hold off updating until a patch arrives. If you've run into this problem and have found a workaround, drop that in the comments. It might save someone else a little bit of frustration. Apple seeded the release candidate versions of iOS 26.1 and iPadOS 26.1 this week to developers and public beta testers. And for anyone unfamiliar, a release candidate, or RC, is essentially the final version of the software that Apple plans to roll out publicly, unless any last-minute bugs appear. It's what developers test just before the general release, so in most cases it's identical to what everyone else will get soon after this release. According to Macworld and Mac Rumors, this update adds new Apple Intelligence language support, including Danish, Dutch, Norwegian and Vietnamese, and adds live translation to Japanese, Korean and Chinese. There are a few other welcome tweaks too. You can swipe left or right in Apple Music to change tracks. The clock app gains a slide to stop motion for alarms, And there's a new liquid glass toggle letting you choose between clear and tinted interface styles. Now this is an option I'm personally grateful for. I don't particularly like liquid glass, so that anything that tones down its effects, for me anyway, is very welcome, though I do appreciate what it's trying to achieve. What about you? Are you a liquid glass aficionado or a bit of an iOS 18 Lux Luddite like me? There's no official release date yet, but with the RC now out, a public rollout is likely within the next week or so. If you're on the beta, you can update now, but make sure that your backups are ready before installing. If you've spotted any other e-ink or iPad stories that I've missed, or if your Kindle's been acting up, please add to the conversation in the comments or even email me directly, markfromthespark@gmail.com, and I'll consider adding any of that news that I've missed to next week's episode. Finally, just another reminder, subscribe for more weekly tech updates, and if you'd like to support what I do, you can buy me a digital coffee. Link will be in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark from the Weekly Spark, and I'll see you again very soon.